Okay. Anyway, oh, presentation mode. What? Oh, nice. Okay. Anyways, what's up, everyone? Tier list time. Yeah. So first off, I need to say that this tier list is gonna be like probably one of the most wackest tier lists in tier list history. Not because of me, well, maybe because of me, just because of how much craziness has been going on in terms of like the meta, the current weapon meta, and like weapon balance. It's just gonna be madness. It's probably gonna be a very weird tier list because, in my opinion, in my humble high platinum player opinion, I deserve to be in diamond. 1998 elo. I'm basically a diamond player. Yeah. Bro, BMG has not been doing the best of jobs in terms of balancing the game, in my opinion. As you can see, right now, Cannon has just got skyrocketed in use because people are realizing, in large part due to Sandstorm, I believe. Sandstorm Zol has shown people, oh my god, Cannon has some really easy strings that can rack up damage really fast and really easily, and can possibly even 0 to death, so people have realized that. And then Scythe has been, it's just madness. This is platinum, also the diamond, I'll show you. Like, Scythe is just Scythe madness. Everyone's using Scythe. Like, Scythe is the road to diamond right now. And as you can see, the win rate is slightly less. That just goes to show, excuse me, just how many people are using Scythe, because it's the road to diamond. I believe Scythe and Guitars, which was buffed in 2 patches ago, I believe. I don't know why it was buffed, and buffed to such an extent. I don't truly understand why that occurred. And even more so, I don't understand why they didn't restore it to or reduce it to like a reasonable level of buff. That was a horrible explanation. It was buffed, so a few combos were more reliable, and namely side light to neutral light for some absurd reason is a true combo now. I don't know why they did that. It's absurd. I'll get into that on my weapon tier list video, but I think it's kind of absurd and should not be a thing, especially when there's so many follow-ups after neutral light that you can do. That it's like having downlight Sayer on blasters, not guns, blasters. See, it says blasters, and then having a really easy follow-up that can have very little dodge frames, or none if you're playing Lin Fei. And so yeah, so Scythe, super popular right now. Cannon's skyrocketing in popularity. Axe has been buffed for God knows why. Axe was recently buffed. Gauntlets was significantly nerfed. And that is just about it in terms of significant stuff. And people are realizing how good Orb is. So yeah, but Scythe, Cannon, Guitars, those are the big 3 you want to look out for. And then Gauntlets of course, are Gauntlets. They're good. They were significantly nerfed, but they're good still. Okay, so I need to get out before we get right into it, I need to say my biases, because every player has a bias. Well, not... Oh yeah, every player has... I would say every player has a bias. I want to say this, just say OP. Every player has a bias. These people need a nerf, obviously, but I'm just going to keep OP to make it pretty looking. Every player has a bias, so I'm gonna get my biases out the way so you can understand why certain, like, hey, why does that legend like Scarlet bug him more? Excuse me. Cool, that was gross. Than he bugs me. That was actually really gross. I'm so sorry. I just ate. So I'll tell you, my bias is that I am a very high level Ada main. I just kind of like giving up on Ada. I'm like level 70 something on Ada on PC, and on PS4 I've been playing on my PS4 a lot lately, because my controller for PC doesn't work really that well. And then have a pretty high level 20 something level Ada for PS4 because I played on last summer on the PS4 as well. So yeah, I play a lot of Ada, and then I've hit a wall with Ada, and I believe that 3 defense just doesn't get it done. So I've been maining a lot of Diana as of late, and I almost got Diamond with Diana on PC, 1998 last season. If I didn't mention that earlier. I can't meme it. Like, that's a good thing to meme and joke about, but I'm still salty about it, so I'm not gonna say anything memey about that. And 1918 is my peak elo thus far on PS4 after playing a little bit. So, time to get started. Those are my biases. So yeah, I'm a blasters main, but I'm trying to get away from blasters and spear and maybe just only focus on bow. Okay, that was my bias. Let's get into the tier list. It's going to be amazing. We love this. I'm so sorry if me clapping is too loud. We're going to get right into this tier list now. We're doing alphabetical order, and which really stings. Actually, I don't want to do this in alphabetical order. I usually do not want to. Like, it's better for my brain, so I can do it in terms of best to worst legends. Actually, should I do an alphabetical order? That would make timestamps so much easier, right? Now let's do an alphabetical order. Anyways, Ada is... Please drag. Okay. I had to end the video, they weren't dragging. Ada is arguably C tier, but I'll put her in B tier. Okay, so I have a lot to say on Ada, so bear with me. You can skip ahead. It should be timestamps if I wasn't completely a lazy buffoon. Like, a lazy little... these guys are fat and lazy looking. Zariel. I wasn't of lazy. I don't know. There should be timestamps below, but Ada, I just have to say, is arguably C tier and B tier. Okay, this is gonna be take quite a bit of explaining, but hear me out. The weakness of blasters is Katars, because blasters are a ranged weapon, right? They specialize in zoning out your opponents, and you really have to have really good to be very successful with blasters. You have to have excellent spacing. I think blasters really are kind of a bad weapon right now, but because it's the high skill requirement for blasters. But I'll say that for my weapon tier list. Oh, and real quick, before I get too much into Ada. Quick announcement. Timestamp for announcement at 7:45. Announcement time. So everyone knows. Subscribe now if you're ever going to subscribe, because community colors will appear in my next gameplay video. I don't know if that gameplay video will be PS4 gameplay or PC gameplay. Depends on if my controller cooperates or not for PC. But there will be a community color in my next gameplay video nonetheless. So yeah. So everyone knows. But if you go to join my Discord, you get first dibs, because you'll get the @everyone notification, and you can click on the video first, and you'll see it first, and yeah. Or you can ring the bell and subscribe. Oh my god. Okay, back to Ada. God. Ada, starting over. Ada is arguably C tier in my opinion, because hear me out. Blasters, Katars are the weakness of blasters, because blasters specify. I'm repeating this because timestamps. Blasters specialize in zoning out your opponents, and you really to find success with blasters, you should be very proficient with your spacing. Your spacing needs to be pretty spot on, right? To truly find success with blasters. Katars, they mess that up, because Katars are a short-ranged weapon, and they will get in. Once they get in on blasters, it's really hard to try to reestablish your spacing with blasters. I think that's a better explanation than I did in my first try explaining that in a different video. So Katars, once they get on blasters, you're doomed, and right now Katars do a ridiculous amount of damage for literally an easy combos and easy reads out of neutral light. So I don't know, silent to neutral light, don't know why that's a true combo when there's so many easy follow-ups to do, but it is, and we have to deal with it. So considering the Katar buff, considering that Ada has 2 weapons, spear and blasters, that that have a similar concept and playstyle where you're trying to zone out your opponents and use your range, but you're not using a Spear Nair, the saving grace of Spear. That's what they weapons specialize in, and that's the one weakness. I would even say a Spear as well. It would be undisputable. The guitars would be undisputably the weakness of Spear as well, I feel like, if it wasn't for Spear Nair. But guitars being buffed and Ada having two weapons that do similar ranged thingy-mabobs, and being a 3 defense legend, Ada is not a good pick. Plus, all the good Ada Sigs, besides Down Sig, have been nerfed. Or have been nerfed over the last year or earlier this year. We have Side Sig for Blasters. Does not kill when it should. It should kill significantly earlier than it should. It has less recovery frames than it once did, but it's like, why? It's like so useless because, well, I would rather have it killed when it did than have less recovery frames. When you realize how much you're locked into that position, sigging anyways. I might as well have it kill, you know? And the neutral sig for Ada, Spear, has the way less hitboxes than it once did, and is way less damage, and is way too much risk for too little reward. And it's like, okay, is Ada a glass cannon, or is just like glass with a little bit of jarredness? So you cut yourself and it does damage, but it's sharp. But it's just that's so. None of her sigs do as much damage as it really should. Side sig, I told you guys we'll figure it out. I told you guys. Okay, we'll see if Ada Side Sig for Spear, if the more range and less damage is a buff or a nerf. I said that a while ago. It is a definite nerf because it's way less reliable to kill, way less safe to just throw out, and it's not good. Ada is not in a very good space right now, especially in the, like, all the Sig stuff is not good, right? It's just a little bit, like, all this, like, the Sig nerfs over time, and the Blaster's recovery nerf, which wasn't really that bad for Ada because she had her Blaster Side Sig, but now there's the recovery nerf a while back for Blasters, and her Side Sig nerf. Your Down Sig is situational and for Blasters, and not a good kill. It's not even a kill option at all. It's just not. You might as well just Sair because it's just Down Sig. That's how late Down Sig kills for Blasters. And neutral Sig is not a kill option for Blasters either, unless you're, of course, ledge guarding. So, Ada is not in a happy space right now. Spear Down Sig is still excellent. I overuse it a lot to make up for lack of kill options otherwise with Spear, but she's not sitting pretty right now. She's not having a great time. So yeah, all you people whining about, oh, Ada's OP, Ada's OP, you're having a field day because Ada's not a great legend to choose right now. I could arguably put her in C tier, but I'm not gonna do that yet because she has no Sig that I just say is bad. Neutral Sig and Down Sig for Blasters are super situational, but nothing is bad. And I still like how Blasters Down Sig hit stacked because it's a passive Sig. Artemis is really tricky, and that's why I didn't want to put this list in alphabetical order because I don't know where to put Artemis. Because Side Sig for Lance has more range. And less recovery frames. Is that a buff? Is that a nerf? I don't know. I don't mean Artemis. All I know is that you guys were really complaining about Side Sig, so BMG did something about it. I don't know if that's a step in the right direction for you Artemis mains. However, there's a lot of good. It's really hard to rate Artemis on here because there's a lot of good Scythe mains. A lot of good Artemis mains, like really good Artemis mains, and it's really just. It's hard to tell because there's so many good Artemis mains out there. It's hard to really see, okay, how good is this legend on their own, not factoring the player, and it's really difficult to tell. But I must say that Artemis' Sigs are better than I always give her credit for. I might even put her in B tier just because I might have to factor in a bit just how good people are with Scythe right now and how Scythe crazy it's being right now. If that makes any sense in the meta, it's just Scythe is just madness. It's just Scythe and madness, and Scythe needs a nerf. I'm sorry, it does. It just does. I mean, I don't mean to be like Scythe is OP, Scythe is OP, but it needs a nerf. I mean, it like once a Scythe lane goes, that's why another reason why Ada can't be, because in my opinion, a no 3 defense legend will ever be up here. I'm being generous putting. I might put during this list. I might put Ada in C tier because, like, we have stringy weapons like Scythe, gauntlets, cannon, and then you have guitars that does a ridiculous amount of damage very easily now. That's horrible when you're playing a low defense legend. That's horrible to go against. But it's not like you're even if you outplay your opponent, you can. It's one little lucky string, one lucky read, and you're jacked. So I don't know. Artemis, I think, is always better than I give her credit for. So I'm gonna put her in B tier this time. And S, this is the hardest. One of the hardest decisions because Asuri is the best guitarist legend. I would say Ragnir is, but Ragnir is very, very good. We'll get into him later, but I guess I have to give it to Asuri for her just the reliability of her kill options. I don't know, and how fast or crazy fast her sigs are. Like I always thought Asuri was overpowered for sure, but how unreactably fast some of her sigs are. Like they're quick. But upon using her more, this is like a trend. Like if you think a legend is overpowered, use a legend more to see if they're truly overpowered or not. I don't know. You have some really crazy good sigs. Two-part sig, two-part sigs on guitars, and that work well out of neutral light. And then sword has recently been buffed, so downlight recovery is more consistent. Not recently, it's fairly recently buffed, right? So I feel like the best timing for Asuri to be ascend to overpower status. But I'm not sure if she's quite there yet. And I don't want her to be there. Trust me, I do not want Asuri to be overpowered. That's horrific. So even if I'm still main Diana, like I don't want an overpowered guitarist legend. But she's like borderline. It's just based on your opinion of her sigs, because I don't want to put her an S for now. We'll see how this list goes, but she's very, very, very good. If sword gets a bit of a buff, then she'll be overpowered for sure. Azoth is luckily, I say luckily, because Axe has been buffed and bow does a lot of damage for like not doing anything really. Like bow racks of damage just like that for like, and I almost got to diamond with my first time maining. Ow, crud! My first time maining Diana in ranked in like ever, and I almost got to diamond right off the bat. Of course, there was crossplay, but still, I don't know. Bow is interesting, but bow is really good. But Azoth is just sigs are just really, really just weak sigs. That's all I gotta say. There's one, of course, on the bow neutral sig. There's one hitbox that appears right after, like not right behind the other one. It just will appear when you're when you're evading the first hitbox. There's another one that appears and it whacks a bunch of people. That's the thing to look out for. But unless you shouldn't have too much trouble against an Azoth unless they're really good with the zoning. Then you might have a bit of trouble. So Barazza, this is hilarious, but Barazza is actually not a bad legend. Like he's now definitively not a bad legend. I haven't talked about this at all right now yet, but there has been a Blasters buff where neutral light to Nair is a true combo. I haven't mentioned that yet because I forgot about it. But in all honesty, that's not like for controller players, like that's utterly kind of useless. I don't even know if I guess possible to do on controller. I'll try. I'm trying to do it. I haven't done it once on controller, which is not a good sign. Because even I can have done accidental downlight gravity cancel downlight X pivot nair. I've done that, but I don't know if downlight to nair, because you have to do a weird chase dodge thingamabob to pivot it on the ground. I don't know if that's even possible on controller, and I know it's not a very easy input, as it looks super easy, but it's not. So I don't know how that really affects the non-pros. For a pro, I guess Blaster's a bit better, but I'll rant about Blasters in my other video. But anyways, that was just a quick tangent. Back to Barazza. Axe has been buffed for God knows what reason. I don't know. I made a video a skit about that. I don't know why Axe was buffed. I was just starting to get comfortable going against Axe. I'm like, hey, Axe isn't the OP like I thought it was. Axe has its ground pound is way less of a commitment and less risky. You could say, oh, but if he swings the axe one less time, so that covers less dodges. But I'm like, yeah, but now it's much faster and it's less of a commitment for axe players. So, I don't want to deal with axe ground pounds. It still covers a lot of space. Even you can be above it, and Dare has a lot of hitboxes. So when axe ground pounds and Dares on stage cover a ridiculous amount. I lost a ranked match because I don't know if it was the Dare or the hit or the ground pound. I forgot, but there was a hitbox above it when he was ground pounding, and it somehow hit me when I was above him, and they're daring or ground pounding, and then I died. It's insanity. I don't know why Axe was buffed, but Axes and defense is. I think defense is the most important stat right now. Yeah, I'd say defense. Especially with all these guitar legends going and scythe people and with scythe cannon gauntlets. I think some defense will do you some good. So I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm actually putting Barazza above Ada. Ada has Barazza has an anti-air in his Blaster's kit, which isn't the greatest sig, but it's there. Ada doesn't have that. Side sig isn't the greatest, but it's a two-parter, but still not the greatest. But he's beefier and he can last longer, so you can fish for a kill. Axe neutral sig actually might be overpowered because how fast of it, how much force damage, everything it has going for it. Barazza's Axe neutral sig. Actually, I can't put him above Ada because the sigs, the stats wise, maybe, but actually, I will put him above Ada because of the axe buff. That's risky. I feel uncomfortable with this, but we'll see. Bodvar is just kind of there at this point. He's great against squishy legends, but he's just solid. He's just a solid character. He does seem to do way more damage than advertised, which is I thought it was just me playing Ada, but no, he just does. I don't know if you guys notice this, but he does way more damage than you'd think. With his a simple hammer nair does a lot more damage than you'd think it would with playing Bodvar. But he's nothing special right now. It's just there. Brynn is borderline. I just have a hatred for Brynn because I play Brynn and I just win because I just know a bit of spear and I don't know anything about axe. But Brynn's sigs are just so good. We have a spear side sig you can't outrun at all. An unreactably fast neutral sig, and a spear down sig that hits stacked. It's oh my god. And then with axe, you have some pretty good signatures as well. And the down sig has a lot of force, and it's your best kill option, but which you don't really need because it's axe, and you can just axe is a kill option within itself. Brynn might be overpowered now because she's getting closer to spear. I don't think spear is in the best place right now. I don't know. They had a ground pound buff, but it's so minor. It's whatever. Who cares? If you don't know what the buff was, it more stun on ground pound. The ground pound does more stun, but actually might do less damage, and I think it has less recovery frames. Yeah, so I don't think Spear's in a better place. Brynn will easily be overpowered, but right now Brynn will just be super, super irritating. Really good sigs, really good stats, some sigs that are too fast, too much range. Brynn is phenomenal. This is tricky because Caspian is never considered a good legend by me, but the guitar buff, so gotta factor that in. However, I don't think his sigs are good at all. I usually, when you're gonna go against, when you have his guitars, you can just remember if you approach like diagonally in the air, then there's nothing he can really do because neutral sig hits directly up, side sig hits to the side, down sig, he jumps up and does it's like, I don't know why, guitar's down sig is very super situational to the point of uselessness. Oh my, this is getting stuffy, or itchy. Gauntlet sigs are pretty atrocious besides neutral signature, but Caspian mains, you'll forget about it, but by the time you see how many times Caspian mains will throw out the neutral signature, you'll remember, oh yeah, the neutral signature, haha, I can't land there, just like Sidra. So I never consider him a great legend, but Guitar Nerf makes him definitely C tier. Cassidy is who I might consider maining because I have blasters and very good like Cassidy's signatures are pretty, like with the right meta, Cassidy can just like explode. That does not make sense. I'm gonna put Ada back there. Because you think about it, side sig is very fast for blasters, pretty fast, or not extremely fast, but it's pretty fast, and it's a 2-part sig. 2-part sig for neutral sig blasters, and that's a great anti-air. Ada does not have an anti-air. Down sig has some funky hitboxes, so if the enemy's somewhat stacked, it can hit. On the ledge, if they're not paying attention, you down sig, they're dead. Neutral sig for hammer is very quick. Side sig is very quick, and you can just keep throwing it out, and you'll definitely get a kill. Down sig for hammer is more situational and more gimmicky, but it can get the job. It can still do its job. You know, it's not useless. But it's more gimmicky. And Cassidy, I feel like Cassidy's kind of underrated. Like, Cassidy is a bit slow. That's the one thing. Like, she has an unnecessary amount of dex, and is kind of slow. Like, I would main 5 defense Cassidy for sure, but she is the 4 speed is a little too. It's just not enough for a blaster's main. Like she has 5 speed, then I'm putting Cassidy in 8 tier, but the 4 speed, she's just not fast enough. I might put her above Barazza, but the axe, I don't know what the axe buff is going to take us. Because he doesn't have the best axe signatures, but he doesn't need them. Cross is not good. There are really good cross mains out there who they're really good with. They're proficient with the gauntlets. They kick in my butt. Cross has weird stats, like super weird stats, but he does do a lot of damage, and he is pretty tanky. So, there's a bunch of good cross gauntlet mains out there, but never do I say, oh, cross is a good legend. It's just, there's really good cross gauntlet mains out there. And yeah, if cross has blasters, the kill options, he does not have good kill options, and you should be able, even if the cross is better than you, when you know you're in kill percent and cross has blasters, it's kind of like, you can kind of relax a bit, because unless they're a downlight recovery pro, they don't have good kill options. Gauntlets, it already has kill options in its kit, like recovery. Has a very consistent recovery that has a lot of force, even if the nerf. Oh my god, it's time for Diana. I don't know wherever to. I don't actually, just honestly, I don't know. Actually, I do know. Diana is in 8 B tier. Okay, the trick, Diana, I could rant about Diana, like, literally just for a half an hour. How frustrating, how amazing, how everything about this character. I could literally just rant. Like, excuse my Brawlhalla nerdiness, but I could just rant about Diana all day. But I will try not to. Here's the thing. With Diana, if you main bow, hold on. If you main bow, and you want signatures that sync with your kit, then Diana is an amazing choice for you. If not, then go Ember. But if you want signatures that sync with your kit, then because you have the neutral signature, it's not a kill option you just throw out. It's not like a kill option you just throw out to throw out. It's not gonna really kill unless you use it with your combo. Because bow downlight out of Diana neutral signature, it really opens doors. Because if it doesn't like, even if it doesn't hit, because you can realize how they dodge. You can adjust your neutral sig timing to still make it work. You can like neutral sig. If you see me playing against you, I'm gonna be. You already know I've used a lot of Diana bow neutral sig. It works so good with her kit. It's just beautiful. And then you have down sig, which is a great just in neutral. You need a kill option in neutral, right? It's a great kill option. I don't want it to be nerfed anymore because it's had a nerf I think for force and hitboxes fairly recently. Not quite a few patches ago. I don't want that to happen again for obvious reasons, and I wish I mained Diana before that had that nerf. But Diana down sig is not as effective as it once was, but still pretty effective. Side sig is not a good. You're not going to use it in neutral, but within a bow combo, if you can get a good read, side sig has a lot of force. You can't dodge through it. You can't spot dodge it or dodge through it. So it'll grab you. It'll smack you. A lot of active frames, but you can't really use it in neutral. You have to more use it for like a dodge read, but it's still extremely effective for a dodge read, and it has a lot of force. So it's not, you don't throw it out in neutral, but you have down sig for that, and you can just do bow downlight is very safe to throw out. So might as well just do bow downlight to Diana neutral sig and see what happens. However, and Diana has amazing stats. I've been using strength. I'll explain it to you why in a second. But her stats are, I believe, 5 attack, 6 dexterity, 6 speed, and 5 defense, or something like that. Those stats are phenomenal. They're just perfectly balanced as all things should be. Her stats are beautiful. Just beautiful stats. And that's why I chose her. Because I made blasters, and I said I want the blasters legend with the best stats. Too slow. 3 defense is not bad. It's still not good sigs really for blasters. However, Diana has atrociously bad blaster signatures. I will not what's the fancy way of saying take that back in court? I don't know. I will not take that back. You can argue with me in the comments. I'm not taking that back. She has atrociously bad blaster signatures. They're horrible. Extremely bad. It's not even funny how bad they are, especially playing on a high platinum, on diamond high platinum level. They're atrociously bad. Because if you're a pro player like Boomy and you just, unless you're grinding out, if you got downlight recovery down a bit better. However, recovery's been nerfed, so you got to hit downlight recovery pretty late. So that really stinks, because if downlight recovery didn't have that nerf a while back, then okay, it wouldn't be so catastrophic how bad our signatures are. But here we are. It was nerfed. You have to be a downlight recovery pro if you really want to kill with Diana. That's really your only option. I would say that pro players like Boomy and LDZ who main blasters would have significantly more success if Diana had a single reliable kill option for blasters. Neutral sig is super situational. It's more like someone's hovering in the air and you're like, okay, I'm gonna throw this out because you're hovering in the air, and I have a good, I wouldn't say I guess it's a decent / good anti-air just to throw out, and most of the time it even hits. It's just because, oh wow, there's still hitboxes up there. You just don't realize there are hitboxes up there, or you just anticipated your opponent to jump, but it's not quick enough just to throw out, so you're not gonna be throwing it out a lot, and it's not for a kill option. Unless your enemy's hopping up and down and kind of slow on their feet, it's not going to be reliable. Blaster's side sig is atrociously bad. It's slow. It has a weird amount of range. You have to be downlight Sare. Okay, there's space between me and the opponent. Hopefully they don't move precisely where this hits. Because if they come too close, then you throw it out, and you're gonna get punished. It has a lot of recovery frames too. You'll just get demolished. And then you have, and then if you overestimate the range, you'll still get punished too. It's like I guess I don't know if it has I guess it has a decent amount of force on it, I suppose, but you can't use it to kill. And it's so obvious when a Diana is spacing it out to, like, even when you get hit by it, you're like, oh yeah, I could tell they were spacing that out, because it's just that the spacing is so unusual. And then down sig, it's a 2-part sig. Yeah, it kills early, but for a signature, the idea is not for it to kill early. The idea is for it to be a reliable kill option. It's not a reliable kill option by no means. It locks you into place for a really long time. The only way to literally land it is to get a read, or just throw it out and just hope for the best. And if you get punished for it, you're kind of jacked because it has a lot of recovery frames. If you whiff it, you will get punished. It is not reliable. The only real application of it is if you're just really desperate to kill early. But still, you can't really throw it out too much or you'll get punished and then you lose the game. Like on Twilight Grove, it kills on orange on the ledge, that's the little island, which is great when someone's being stupid. I've used that a few times to win some games when someone's being stupid and like approaching me and I'm like, okay, I'm really behind, I really need to kill early here, and I could use down sig. But other than that, it's still an atrocious sig because it's not a reliable kill option. You want a signature not for gimmicks, not to kill early, just to be reliable. It's not reliable. And then it has a lot of force. It doesn't do a lot of damage. It has a lot of force. Keep that in mind. It's not killing early because of the damage it does. No. It kills early because of the force it does. So keep that in mind, Diana mains, because if you're maining Diana for blasters, you better be playing some pretty gosh darn good blasters, because I don't even think blasters are very good right now, even with the neutral light to Nair, because that's a rant for another day. I just don't believe they're good right now. But if you better be playing out of your mind and really making it really hard for your opponent to breathe with blasters, because that's the Diana mains that beat me. They're flying all over the place with Nair after craziness, and even with these crazy good Diana mains, I know when they have me in kill percent and they have blasters, I still have a fighting chance because her kill options are so bad with blasters. That was a long rant, but I had to get that off my chest. Orb is good, so Dusk is good. I don't like Dusk Spirit Sigs, but BMG, I don't know, I forgot what they buffed, but they're improving Dusk's. I think down sig for Dusk is down Spirit Sig, has more force, which is pretty good, I guess. But yeah, actually, I might have to move like these guys down to C. We'll see. Ember is actually Ember's only up here because of the guitar buff. She's a 3. I know I said no 3 defense legends will ever be up there, but Ember is allowed to because okay, I can't do this anymore. You have to go there. Ember is allowed to go up here because of the guitar buff, and because she's a glass cannon, and because the guitar buff helps circumvent, which I think is a problem with Ember. So I don't think her guitar sigs her guitar side sig is that reliable of a kill option. Her guitar sigs are not bad, but they're not, I wouldn't say 100% reliable. But you have the guitar buff, so I was like, oh, okay. And it's easy to rack up damage with bow, and she has the down sig with bow is a little very, very situational. Her side sig for bow is excellent. Her neutral sig for bow is pretty gosh darn good. And depending on who you ask, some people say it's phenomenal. I don't think it's phenomenal, but I'll say it's pretty good. And then bow does a lot of, it racks up damage fast. So I gotta put Ember in A tier because there's a lot of diamond Embers coming out of the woodworks with the guitar buff, and hey, bow is good, guitars is great, borderline OP. Actually, no, guitars is OP right now, so gotta go Ember if you want. Or Okay, Fait is actually, I always put Fait in OP. But she doesn't have a good scythe kill op. Like her orb neutral sig is her orb is overpowered. I don't see any question. It does a lot of damage. Like stupid stuff. Like orb means a few nerfs in my opinion. Just like Saring to kill is just so easy, and it does it too early for a light attack in my opinion. Her neutral sig for orb is unreactable, and it's bad. Orb side sig is hard to punish. Orb down sig is easy to throw. It's a really good kill option. It doesn't seem like the best kill option, but it's actually a really good kill option. Scythe neutral signature is great. Side signature is less great, and then side down signature is very, very situational, so that's why she's not overpowered. But I'd say her orb, just her orb kit is very overpowered. And we're picking up the pace here a bit. Gnash, it depends on I feel like Gnash is better than people give him credit for. Like people don't like his play rate doesn't reflect how good he is. However, he's not great, but like his play rate does not act. Just because you don't see a lot of Gnashes, I would be a bit wary because he has some very aggressive signatures that hit extremely hard. But I wouldn't call it was both those weapons aren't the best, and his signatures aren't like phenomenal or anything. Or I wouldn't even say great. Some of them might be great, but I don't know. But I would be wary when I go against a Gnash. I would just say that. Oh my, this is such a weird list. Like this hurts my brain because realistically, in a tier list, in a Brawlhalla tier list, it should be Hattori A tier, Diana A tier, and those are just givens every patch, right? No, it's not anymore because I guess it's not like Hattori got worse. It's just that all the other weapons are better, and Hattori doesn't like other legends are better, and Hattori just hasn't really been keeping up. Downlight Recovery is more consistent now. Spear got. I don't even know call it a buff. That's how minor it's had a change. The spear ground pound got. So, but Asuri it's just good. She's not great. She's just good. She's just not keeping up with these legends that are just their sigs are just too fast, too much range, too much damage. She's just not keeping up. I don't get mad at her when I go against a Hattori that much or lose to a Hattori. I have a level 26 Hattori, but it's because it's nothing crazy like all other craziness that's happening up in these tiers. So I guess I'll just get Hattori and B. Isaiah is indeed only because people are realizing that Canon has merit. Like people are realizing the merits of Canon. But other than that, he had a downsig buff. For blasters because it's so bad, but he's still an atrocious legend. Just about Canon, people are realizing the merit of Canon, and when you go against an Isaiah main, even though legend is so bad, you're still a bit wary because people are so like usually you're against an Isaiah main because they're very 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 good with Canon, and then that's why they're on the same level with you. So you have to be very wary when you go against an Isaiah main because Canon. They know how to use Canon. I don't remember if Jhala's downlight to neutral sig is still a true combo, but it does not appear that people were aware of that to begin with. So she's only in B tier. Axe has been buffed, and she has better signatures, much better signatures than Barazza. So open them up with Barazza. And yeah, I might put the blaster boys down here, but we'll see how this goes. Jiro is the only Scythe legend I don't have a crazy fear of. I guess Artemis I don't have too much of a fear of, but I do not. Jiro's the only legend I don't really Scythe legend. I kind of relax it. It's like when I go outside see a Jiro, I'm like, oh, I relax a bit because he's so squishy, right? And his Scythe signatures, he has a 2-part signature. He has a really niche down signatures for edge guarding, and then he has the neutral signature which goes right above him, but. I just don't. You just know you have to hit him a few times. He's very squishy, so and he'll bleed out. And Spear is side signature for sword was buffed, but it's still not nearly as fast as it should be. Down signature, people know how to use it more effectively. I think Phazon has changed how people see the side signature. For I'll put him there. Side signature for I'm down signature for his sword, but I wouldn't but all in all, even his neutral signature for sword isn't great. So all in all, like some not really great signatures, not fast enough, and he's really really squishy. Like, and so I don't. He's the one scythe legend that I'm like, oh, I can take him. Kaya it's not her time. It's not her time. One day it'll be her time to shine, but it's not there yet. Very very tanky. Doesn't they changed side signature so for spear so it has more range. I don't have any clue if that's better or worse for the character. But in Brawlhalla, more range for a signature doesn't necessarily equate to better, which is kind of a weird concept when you think about it. It's not her time. Once she might have a time to shine, but until she has a reliable kill option, Spirit Downsig is great, but Bow Downsig is great or good or at least good, but you're using it way more than you need to use it because you don't really have other good kill option otherwise. You should be wary against good Kayas, like I will say. There are very good Kayas out there who are very proficient, and you should be very wary. But it's not her time to shine yet. She's very tanky, but it just doesn't do enough damage. Once she does enough damage, and she might skyrocket, unless her 6 gets some change where they're more reliable, she might skyrocket up this list. But she's been waiting for her time for maybe even a year or two now. I think Boomy wrote one of the one patch where he wrote basically a book on. He wrote a novel about the patch. I think he was saying it was one day's gonna be Kaya's time to shine. It's not today. Koji is Koji. Its bow is good. He's tanky enough to handle all the Qatar craziness going on. Got some consistent kill options. Down late, it's got a bit of a buff, but I'm really factoring that in much. Downsig is great for bow. Sword, he doesn't have they're not great. I guess they're good kill options, but not great. But it's kind of irrelevant because you have downlight recovery and downlight Sair and downlight Dare, which are easy, very, very, very easy, much easier than Blaster's downlight recovery, and consistent. So I'll put him in A. I might move him to top B, but we'll see. Core Gauntlets has been nerfed. Core still has some very irritating signatures to deal with, though. So I'll put him at the top of C. Still has some. I think he's tanky, which is I would give him credit for being tanky, more tanky on the tanky side. But Gauntlets and Hammer, they're weird weapon combination. Core Downsig is of course irritating as heck. Some very neutral signatures, very aggressive and a lot of range for Gauntlets. But no, the Gauntlets nerf, I'll put them down here because of the Gauntlets nerf. This is, oh god, Lin Fei. I need water for this one because, okay. So people are saying Lin Fei is OP. That's just like, okay, on a pro level, I'm not going to say. But for the average Brawlhalla player, you're on your road to Diamond, you're in high gold, whatever. You're in low platinum, whatever. Lin Fei is not OP. She's good, but she's not, she's actually not F tier, which is insane. Like, so much can change with one pro player, maining Zol. Between one pro player maining Zol, and one pro player maining Lin Fei. No, let's just say, it's just because of one pro player and one buff, how much can change. Because she's up there now. Because Gauntlet, now people realize the cannon potential. And the Qatars are great right now. She has the extra deck, so even I think downlight to neutral sig is a true combo. And you shouldn't be true comboing into signatures in the first place because that just does too much damage. So Whenever there's a true combo for a signature, that should be like a warning sign about to be really careful when you're against a legend or just to main that legend, because there shouldn't be any true combos into signatures really. But she has downlight to neutral sig at lower percents, and I think it's still viable in kill percent. It's just much harder to do. If the people commenting on wrenched Lin Fei's OP video were not mistaken. But I don't think she's OP because her signatures are still garbage. Like, okay, I get Cannon. People are realizing how crazy the strings are for Cannon. Like, I don't think Cannon's like a great weapon overall, like as is in neutral, but its string potential is it's just too good. It's just too easy to rack up too much damage so fast. It's so easy to 0 to death. It's not. Cannon needs a definite rework for a lot of stuff. It's just, and Cannon in the string aspect is just too good. And then Katara's is OP, but Lin Fei, like, even if she has some true combo for signatures, using her raw signatures in neutral is just not viable. Katara neutral sig on its own is pathetic. It's horrible. It has no range. It does nothing. It has a lot of, even you have the dex to get out of it fast enough, it has a lot of active frames, so you might get punished while you're doing the signature. Yeah, the artwork is beautiful, but it's really showing off the artwork, and it's like it's a pathetic signature, right? It's just pathetic. Side sig for Katara's is too slow to be good. It's like two-parter, but it's just too slow. Katara down sig has a weird hitbox. It's not nearly as useful as an edgeguard tool as Ragnir's down sig for Katara's. It's just it's really niche. And then Cannon neutral sig is like a kind of like a light attack, I guess. But I don't know when you'd really use it, especially when Cannon downlight to Nair is a true combo, I believe, and that's the main kill combo Cannon players use. Side sig for Cannon is atrocious. Like, I guess you can surprise someone with the range, but it's not gonna, that's not your kill option, really. Unless someone's really being stupid and, like, not letting, I don't know why, no, it's just, I guess you could, like, gravity cancel it and to get back on stage against someone being stupid and, like, not looking out for that, but it's too slow, and it says the range is a bit weird, and it's just not a good signature. And the down sig it's a passive signature, but it's still not a good signature. Her signatures, it's like, okay, if she has a few signatures that go right, like, you're not supposed to have signatures that go right, that are true combos with light attacks. It's insane when you have a true signatures with very little dodge frames that combo into light attacks. Or they combo from light attacks, I guess I should say. Lin Fei has that, apparently, but in raw neutral, signatures are just still atrocious, and all these changes that have happened with weapons and metas doesn't change the fact that her signatures are awful in neutral, and so I think everyone needs to chill out a bit on Lin Fei's OP. I'm putting her in A tier. Vraxx is OP. I'm kidding. Vraxx is... I say Vraxx is the best Blaster's Legend because I don't see why Vraxx doesn't get much more play. Because, I mean, he's like, his lance is so easy to use. Granted, it was actually, no, it was on the PC as well. I was about to say it was only on PS4, but on PC as well. I don't even main Vraxx. I don't main Lance, and I'm kicking butt with occasionally kicking butt, but consistently every time holding my own with Vraxx Lance, just because his signature kit is so good and Lance Nair is such a basic boy thing to use. Like, okay. Lance side signature is great. Lance down signature has a lot of force, is great. Neutral signature is pretty good to throw out there. And then Blaster's neutral signature is good. Okay, good. Down signature is much more, it's like you think it's more niche, but it's much more effective than Ada's neutral signature because as an edgeguard tool, but someone can like jump, like they can think they can jump through it, and this happens a lot, even with platinum players, where they think they can jump through the down signature when you're hovering it off stage, and they can't, and it's a viable kill option for edge guarding. You have stage control, you throw out some down signatures, and they eventually land in one, or they forget, or they try to pass through it, and to punish you using it, and it's. Yeah, and you have good signatures, and it's easy to get out of them pretty fast because and of course side signature for blasters is not phenomenal, but it's really, really good. And it protects you. You're very well protected using it. Lots of dexterity, so you can get out of your good signatures fast. Not a lot of force, so I guess that's why most people don't use them. But if you had a lot more force, it'd be broken and OP. I guess Blasters isn't really the weapon of choice for most people right now, most sane people. But Vraxx is he's really good. He's very, very good. But of course, you can't use guitars blast against Blasters is not ideal, and he is a little bit. He's like 4 defense and 4 attack is a little bit of a not the best scenario, so that holds him back. Lucien is, I might put an A tier because he does have blasters, but then he has the guitars. So Lucien, I guess, is the best blaster legend. I forgot Lucien existed. I just don't personally like his blaster signatures, but it has a good amount of force. It hit neutral signatures for blasters hit stack. Down sync blasters isn't very reliable as a kill option, I would say. Much more reliable than Ada's down signature for sure, don't get me wrong. But not a reliable kill option still overall. Because it's just a little slow. But Lucien is very tanky. Doesn't have enough strength, so that always holds him back. I might even put him in B tier, because he just doesn't have enough strength. But of course, there's the guitar true combos, some really good guitar signatures. Down signature is really used for like edge guarding, of course, but it hits hard. It kills early for a low force legend. With that down signature kills early when you hit it off stage. Oh my, I might leave Lucien at A tier just because he has guitars and good guitar signatures. Yeah, let's do that. Mirage is if I was on my PC, if I was on my PC right now, I'd be really training Mirage, but unfortunately I'm on my PS4. Why am I not training Mirage on the PS4? I guess my spirit has gotten worse on the PS4. Anyways, Mirage is now my go-to pick for 2v2 not friendly 2v2s. Oh god, no. For ranked 2v2s, because her down sig for spear is excellent. Neutral sig for spear is actually it's much better than I used to give it credit for. Side sig for spear is you have to you should try out Mirage if you're looking for a spear legend. You should try out Mirage because it seems like all she has is down sig going for her for a spear kit, but side sig is very fast and it's great for reads. And if someone's in kill percent on the edge and they're not coming up, you can just side sig them. You won't be able to react. I don't say it's OP because of how the spacing is, and it's really obvious, still obvious when a Mirage is gonna do it just by how they space themselves. So it's not OP and doesn't need a nerf by no means. But it's extremely fast and it hits pretty hard. It's very fun. Mirage is one of the most fun legends in the game, in my opinion. Neutral signature hits hard, very weird. It's not reliable to hit, but it's a really great surprise attack. Scythe down sig is great. Only hits stacked, stacked exclusively, so you can't be spamming it or anything. Side sig for Scythe is not the best, so I guess that's why people don't main her Scythe, or a lot of people don't main her Scythe. But side sig, not the best. It's an eh. And the neutral signature is you're throwing out a very, very niche light attack basically. So it's good on it's the quality of the neutral signature. It's more like a quality of life signature. Does that even make any sense? Like, your opinion of that will depend on how you use signatures. Like, if you really want an aggressive kill option, it's not how you use. But if you just want like a nice, subtle, okay, this is what I'm gonna light attack into neutral signature, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, light attack, and you have a plan where you're gonna light attack, incorporate into it with your light attacks, and I guess it's an extremely good signature. It depends on how you play the game, but Mirage is one of the most fun legends and is one of the best legends in the game right now. And yeah, Mirage, and her stats are, people really don't need to pay attention to stats more, but Mirage's stats are actually borderline overpowered when you use Strength Stance on Mirage. And she has 4 base defense, which if she had 5 base defense, she's basically overpowered. I'll just tell you that. She's like overpowered with 5 base. Does she have 5 base defense actually? Oh, wait, hold up. No. I'm sorry. I retract that. Wait, hold up. She has actually no. She has Mirage. I should know this. I have a level. Brawl. I need to look. I think she has 4. Yeah, she has 4. Okay, I was about to say like what? No, she has 4. But if she had 5 base defense, she might be overpowered, because if you try out Strength Stance on Mirage, that's all I'm gonna tell you. And please don't use that tip if you're gonna play against. If you're US West, don't do this. But if you're not US West, use Strength Stance on Mirage. Mordex is overpowered, and I will not. I believe this with all my heart. Unreactable signatures. One of the best. Scythe is the best weapon. Is tied with guitars for the best weapon in the game. Gauntlets is still needs. I say Gauntlets needs another nerf. Gauntlets is crazy. Like, you can't go off. Like, when I see a Mordex, I can't go on off stage with them, like, no matter what, because he has Scythe and Gauntlet. So why going off stage is just a death wish. And very fast signatures that can throw you down or chuck you to the side. Really, it's like going against a Mordex off stage is just as literally you have a death wish if you're playing with a Mordex off stage. On stage, Scythe dominant is just so dominant. Signatures are so dominant for both his Scythe and his Spirit. I mean, Gauntlet down. Signatures are so fast, so unreactable. Scythe has so much range. Its active input on the Gauntlet's down state can kill really early, throwing you over the edge because it throws you with some good force, or can throw you up if need be. So fast. He gets like the recovery frames, or just barely any recovery frames. I made a video on this. As soon as he lands on the ground, he's ready to launch another attack. A good Mordex is like I'm even saying this because of Sandstorm. I'm just saying this in general. Like, a good Mordex is like virtually unbeatable because the signatures are too strong, the weapons are too strong. Like, Gauntlets was nerfed, but still, like, Gauntlets are still extremely good. It's just Scythe and Gauntlets are just game-changing weapons. Like, I don't want to say Scythe is OP. Scythe on Twilight Grove is definitely OP because of the gimp potential and because of the island Yuan combos on the island that are true combos, or essentially true combos. It just changes the game. When you have a Mordex, reversing a Mordex, like, the whole game is just changed right from the beginning, just because of the crazy signatures and having Scythe and then having Gauntlets. So Mordex is overpowered. Nyx has good stats and is tanky enough. I just transitioned. That was funny. Anyways, Nyx is tanky enough, but not enough force. But of course, there's the Scythe. Like, Nyx doesn't have the best blaster signatures. Kind of getting irrelevant though because of how good people Nyx mains predominantly use Scythe. I wouldn't say I really don't have any fear of Nyx's Scythe signatures, and I don't see, like, I guess they're good, but I just usually don't have any. They don't really bother me because I know some of them can hit pretty hard, but they're in some very specific designated locations that I usually won't find myself lingering around when I'm in kill percent. Like, it's not usually where I don't really get hit by a side signature from Nyx and die and lose because of it. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't happen. Her blaster signatures are down, like, Down signature is good, but it's not fast enough. Blaster side signature is yeah. Neutral signature is neat. Is of course as off stage is great. You have a good Nyx. You know that you have blasters in your hand. You know that neutral signature is coming. You might be slide charged. You might be messing with them off stage, and then you die super early, and you're upset. You know it's there. But I don't think Nyx is like the greatest legend. However, I can't put her against Artemis because that's under Artemis. That's a sin. So I'll put her in B. She has some pretty good stats as well, much better stats than Artemis because tankier. Orion is actually extremely like the thing with Orion. I think I figured out why BMG does not nerf Orion. Orion does need a nerf. I would put him over here, but actually I might put him here because let's see signature. What's his neutral signature? Oh, Lance signatures. That's right. I would put him in here, but the Lance signatures. Like side sig, like okay. First off, I'll talk about why I figure out why BMG has not nerfed him when he does need a nerf, and I'll figure out why he's not in OP and S. The Lance down signature and Spear isn't the greatest weapon of all time. You know, Spear doesn't really. This doesn't hold a candle to Scythe, Gauntlet still, even Orb or maybe even Axe at this point. I don't even know. And then Kataris for sure. And then Lance down signature is niche. Neutral signature is actually really good. I actually might put him in S. But the thing is, I actually might put him in S. The neutral signature because people combo into that and is very good to throw out and is it's like deceivingly a lot of force. But the thing with why people don't this is why I feel like BMG has not nerfed Orion. He does need a nerf. I feel like Boomy always says he's trash just because he doesn't want to go against a good Orion. But BMG, I mean, Boomy has said he's Boomy, you know, second best player in the world. You'll be first again. I know you will. Destroy him one day. And Boomy's my favorite. I feel like he knows that Orion is actually extremely good. That's why he always has consistently said he's a bad legend. The Spear's side sig is very fast for a lot of range, and it's like you thought Brynn, Brynn has the side sig, has a lot of range, but is not as nearly as fast as Orion's side sig. Orion neutral sig is more niche, but it's insanely good for gimping. Orions do not go against, if Orion's just chilling off stage, right? It doesn't even matter if your Orion's good or bad. I would just let them just chill off stage with Spear. Because the neutral signature is so easy to gimp with. That's how some Orions, you can tell that's the only way they've gained elo is from spamming and gimping with Spear neutral signature, because they're so bad. And then when you go against a good Orion, because the thing is, people, I got off on a tangent there about his signatures. Actually, I'll go through the signatures and I'll say why BMG hasn't nerfed him. That really is it. And then down signatures, it's unsatisfying to hit, but it's very good. It feels like, I don't know if it doesn't do that much damage. It doesn't feel like it. It's just a very unsatisfying signature to hit. I don't know. Okay, this is why BMG has not nerfed Orion. Wait, I was already on track saying this. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. This video is like an hour long. I'm sorry. The thing about it is, geez, like hour long. It's like half. I have to speed it up. The thing about Orion is he's easy to complain about for sig spamming, and then you can really offhand. You can just say, "Oh man, you just get good at the game," because sig spamming is like it's just not good. Someone's sig spamming, you're like, oh, you know they're bad at it. You just know they're bad at the game unless they're doing it with some type of purpose to get into your head, or they're it's working, I guess, and they have no reason to stop, or they have some sort of strategy in place. It's just you're bad at the game. You should be punishing it. It's kind of like that, right? But the thing about it is Orion's always complaining about the sig complain about in silver and gold for sig spamming, and so it's like Orion's sig spamming, Orion's OP, and then it's just like then BMG's like, okay, this is just people whining about sig spamming. They just need to get good at the game, which is true to an extent, but then. But then it muffles the voice of actually good players who are saying wait a minute, this guy's signatures are too fast and it's too fast to have this much range and And that lance side signature shouldn't have that much range, or the sphere signature is too fast to have that much range. I don't know about that. But that voice is completely drowned out, and the he's spamming in silver. He's OP. Oh, so I think that's the real situation why he has to have a nerf, because it drowns out like all the people whining about 6 spamming because they're bad at the game. I'm sorry. Lots of you who just whine about 6 spamming are just bad at the game. You'll get out of it. It's fine. You grow out of it. Okay, no worries. But it drowns out the valid voices where they're saying this guy's actually kind of overpowered in some senses and we need a nerf. So yeah, I need to speed this up. So let's go a little quicker. Petra has an unreactable neutral signature, and Orb is extremely good. Gauntlet's neutral signature is unreactable. Her gauntlets are just actually extremely good. She's extremely good gauntlets. And her Orb is just a really good weapon, so she's definite A tier. Down sig for Orb is very niche, so that's kind of holding her back. And then side sig, a neutral sig for Orb is I don't know if it's really good, but I don't know if it's good. I don't think it's like excellent like everyone's signature is up here. So I'm just gonna put her in A for now. She's a little bit more on the squishy side too, so we'll put her in. She might be subject to change, but she's definitely A, and her gauntlets are definitely like S to OP, because the neutral signature of her gauntlets needs a nerf because that's too fast, it's too unreactable. Queen Nai can't be the worst legend in the game. Is the Qatar buff? But she's still not. You know what you're into when you're going to Queen Nai. She's slow. You might have a bad matchup against her because you have attacks that require some space or something like that. Like blasters. So that might be a bad matchup for you. But other than that, Queen Nai is tanky, hits hard and is tanky, and that's it. That's all she has going for her. So if you should be able to beat like a Queen Nai, you just should be able to beat a Queen Nai most of the time. But you shouldn't be too ashamed of yourself if you can't sometimes, because he is very tanky, a lot of strength, a lot of defense. So if you get hit with like huge signatures, you shouldn't be getting hit by them, but it happens, you know. That was a horrible explanation, but I gotta continue. Ragnir might be overpowered. He's getting close to overpowered. Like he's getting there because of the Qatar buff and the axe buff. He might be potentially overpowered. We'll see. But yeah, he might be the next overpowered boy because his signatures are good. Down signature for Qatar is unreactably fast, but more niche. But it's great for edge guarding. But his really good signatures cover Axe and Qatar's weaknesses, like the spaces where they wouldn't really hit. Downsig for Axe is more niche. It's more like you hope they run into it kind of tool, so that's why he's not in OP probably, or one of the factors not in OP. But I would say Ragnir might suddenly go to OP with the Qatar buff and the Axe buff. He might become overpowered. Really keep an eye on Ragnir. Rayman is there's just people who are good memeing Rayman. There's nothing really going on. His signatures are still not the best. For Gauntlet signatures are pretty weak. Axe signatures are really downsig is good actually. Side signatures they're kind of there. He's just like an average. He would be like the average legend, I would say. I don't know. He's just kind of there. Just don't try not to get into your own head when you're going against a Rayman. Just don't get into your own head saying, "Oh my God, okay, this guy stink. Like I stink if I lose this." Just relax and just play your game, and you should be fine against Rayman. And I'll put him against most people down here because the signatures for Axe are overall he has decent signatures for Axe. And because he has gauntlets, and gauntlets are good, and Axe has been buffed, so we'll put him there. And he's not squishy. He has actually good stats too. So I hate Scarlet. So Scarlet, her playstyle is the most toxic, horrible. Like I just utterly hate Scarlet. So this might be my hatred taking over. But Scarlet is like is a legend where you do not need, it does not require skill. I mean, it doesn't require a true like Scarlet isn't like a true skill based legend. Like it's not combos. It's just picking up stray hits, 2 weapons, lance hammer, excel at taking just getting stray hits because you can lance nair someone to oblivion. Well, you can get stray hits and like stray 2-hit combos with a lance, right? And an absurdly easy 0 to death that exists for some reason. And then hammer excels at just picking up stray hits, not for combos or anything. That's why it's not like one of the best weapons in the game, but it's great for stray hits. And Scarlet excels at racking up damage super fast with stray hits, and it makes me so, it's infuriating, especially when you made a low defense legend. His signatures are, neutral signature is extremely good, side signature is but it's utterly overpowered for edge guarding because it covers up so much space on the ledge. Like on the side of the wall, on the ledge. I don't know why it does that, but it does, and it's really overpowered. Especially when the steam there's hitboxes along the steam. I think that's still a thing where there's hitboxes on the steam when she side sigs over the edge. Down sig isn't the best, but it kills super early, so it's like, okay. And then her lance signatures, they just cover a lot of space. They're not like great or anything. Neutral signatures, they're not fast. Neutral signatures is a lot of space. Down signatures cost Alex's go-to spam boy when edge guarding. But the thing about it is they don't need to be great because she racks up damage so fast that her signatures can kill so early, and the slide attack, like hammer and lance on its own, kills. So it's kind of like having signature. She doesn't need the great signature, so I put Scarlet in A tier. We're getting more brief, but I guess just these legends I don't have as much to say on. Like Sentinel is it's just nothing special happening. His signatures are some fair signatures and nothing astounding, nothing bad. So he's kind of there, and his stats are fair. So we'll put him guitar buff. We always got to factor that in. We'll put him here. I don't really see anything special with that boy. Sidra, oh, that's really tricky. But sword is like, her signatures aren't that great. Oof, is this racism? To say all the colored folk and then include Barazza. Oh, that's not good. It's tricky because her canon signatures besides neutral signature is excellent. It's just how fast it is, right? And I don't know, this just works so well with her for whatever reason, and the speed of it, so easy to throw out. It's just Sidra may love to throw it out, and you'll eventually forget and get hit by it, and it's like just depression. I'm dehydrated. Oh no, speaking of depression, I don't know. Her signatures aren't great. Her signatures, besides that, her signatures aren't like just that great. Interesting stats, not horrible stats. All I can say is interesting about her stats. I'm just gonna have to put her in B. I guess canon people are discovering things with canon, but I'm just gonna have to put her in B. I don't know. I just can't justify. I just can't think of enough merit to put her anything higher, and I can't think of any reason to put her lower. Sir Roland is not seeing a lot of play, but I favor tankiness over speed and running around like a fast boy as of now. But sword and lance aren't like the 2 best weapons, but of course he does have a few obnoxious signatures like the sword's neutral signature. Side signature is a 2-parter. Down signature has a lot of range, but the neutral signature for sword is kind of obnoxious. Not a lot of Rolands out in the woodwork, so we'll put them actually beneath these boys just because Scythe and Guitars right now. So that's all I can say. But he's tanky, and yeah, Teros is like is irrelevant to put him on a tier list just because how people. It's like this Teros. If you go into Teros, the signatures, be wary of the signatures. There's certain signatures like sword side. I mean, axe size signature shouldn't be a problem. The neutral signature will get super early. You've been warned. If you get hit by the axe neutral signature for Teros can destroy you, right? And they might gravity cancel it into another axe neutral. Like they might go axe neutral signature right, and then right after axe neutral signature, and then you're just done. So do be wary of that, because that'll cost you some elo if you're not aware of that. But other than that, he's not the greatest legend. Axe has been buffed though, so we're gonna put him here just because Axe has been buffed. And Teros is, hey, he's a beefy boy. What can we say? Like Teros, he's enough. He's squishy enough to not like pose too much of a threat, but they're always like with the signatures. Like if you get hit by a few of them, it's a lot of damage, a lot of force, and then the axe neutral signature and the axe buff. So yeah, a lot of damage for that axe buff. You know, Thatch is actually not as horrible as people always say, but too squishy and not too ugly, basically. I mean, he's not as horrible as people always take him to be, but he's not great though. Put him like, remember, Scythe guitars are good right now, so put him under them. Thor is overpowered. I don't even like Hammer. I don't even care if Hammer is. I like Hammer right now. I don't even think it's not even one of the best weapons. That just shows you this is basically based on Orb is good. Not, I say under Scythe for how good it is, but it's good. But this just shows how ridiculous his new signatures are. Okay, so the down signature for Orb is people are getting wary or getting more vigilant of like how ridiculous it is, because you can't, you just shouldn't punish it. Basically, lots of the time when someone's doing a down signature with Thor for Orb, you just like, okay, we're just gonna let them do it because it's hard to punish because there's hitboxes all around ready to spiral out. And the neutral signature for Orb, a lot of range, a lot of force, and it's a great tool to like you're not gonna kill a Thor just by knocking him off stage, just because he can just bring himself right back there. Save a dodge, gravity cancel that neutral signature, you're right back on stage. That takes you a long way. And then side signature isn't not the best, you know, but it is a two-parter, so be wary. And then I'm saying be wary a lot. Oh my god, this video is so long. And then this is too long. Every hammer signature is overpowered. The thing about it, the hammer neutral signature is, you wouldn't think it's overpowered, but it just comes out so casually fast, and it combos so well with some hammer stuff that it's just too fast. And it doesn't matter that the hitbox isn't the biggest. It's just so fast, and it's such a casual little light attack that does a lot of damage. That's like overpowered. Down signature is too fast and it hits too hard. It's just the down signature for hammer is utterly overpowered. No question about it. Side signature for hammer is utterly overpowered. It's too fast, and I believe it's a two-parter if the memory serves, but it does have a significant amount of range. And then yeah, like you can't jump against his hammer because of the neutral signature and the ridiculously fast and hits hard down signature. Like the down signature for hammer needs a nerf ASAP. I don't know why it hasn't been nerfed already. Side signature needs a nerf ASAP. It's the signatures are just too good. Olgrim Axe has been buffed, and it's just, hey, Lance, if you can deal with an irritating Lance, you shouldn't have too much of a problem. But there is an Axe buff. They're giving Olgrim's they gave some of Olgrim's signatures less recovery frames, which is actually really concerning that they're doing that for low dex legends, because like, okay, that's their low dex legends. Their weakness should be less, they should have a lot of recovery frames, but they don't, and that's a problem. We'll give these guys more recovery frames on their signatures, and they're giving him less recovery frames. So okay, I don't know why we're doing that, but that's the thing now. Val is a very good legend. Gauntlets have been nerfed. Sword isn't the best weapon right now, but it's not bad. It's just a consistent weapon. And she's just good signatures, excellent stats. Yeah, if you get a sword, more sword gauntlets based meta, then Val is top S tier, not OP, but top S. Wushang, I don't think Spear is the best right now, but we'll put him next to Val because gauntlet signatures are extremely good. Side signatures for gauntlets might have a little too much force on it, but okay. He has extremely good signatures. Spear side signature is very, very fast. Neutral signature is extremely hard to, like, basic side light, down light, neutral signature is actually surprising, or grabbing cancel down signature, whatever, is actually surprisingly hard to dodge out of because of the hitboxes on that spear neutral signature. So, I mean, Wushang is a very good legend. I'll put him, I think Sword is, I don't know. I just think Sword, even though Spear has more range, I just think Sword is better. I don't know. It's just based, if you think, Val and Wushang are always based on, I sometimes put Wushang above it, Val, just because that how much force the side signature has. But then Val's side signature is so hard to punish, so much range, so many hits. It's just basically Spear versus Sword right now. And right now, let's just choose Sword. Zol is oh god, oh my god. Zol's is a problem because he's not really inherently a good legend, really. But now that people are discovering how much string potential Cannon is, Zol is like borderline overpowered. Just because a string with Zol is like your stock is gone. Like you're in kill percent, you're in dark orange just by a single string with Zol. And then Axe got buffed, so I don't. Zol, like I'm not even doing this ironically. He's right there with like Diana. Like I can't believe I'm doing this. Like they should not be together, but they are. It's like I can't believe they're together. But the more and more I'm seeing Cannon at play, it's like, oh boy, and Axe just got buffed too. Like usually I wasn't gonna say this before, but and the Axe buff. Oh god. I'm talking about the Dare ground pound buff for Axe. Or like they're starting to buff Axe, and it's like, so we're gonna have to put him there, and I can't do anything about that because you get some strings with Zol and get some hits, and then your stock is gone. He's not the most tanky legend, which is the saving grace. Thank Jesus he's not tanky. But he controls some space very well, and he's always a threat. Yumiko is not. She's just there, you know. Yumiko is just a very basic legend. Nothing special. Nothing special going on with her bow or hammer right now. Both pretty good right now, but nothing special going on for both legends. She's just a nice chill legend. Yumiko mains are typically very good, so just watch out for Catnip. Momo. Momo's kind of cool. I need to start. Why am I getting video updates on Momo's videos? Huh? I need to check in on that. Drop Momo some likes. Yeah, be careful about those Yumiko mains because they're good, but Yumiko isn't inherently the best legend. But the mains are good, and they figured out how to incorporate the blue sprites she spawns. Zariel is not. The signatures are. He actually. This is idiotic. Zariel, I think people are getting more comfortable against Zariel because he's more spammy in nature. However, his stats are really derpy. He's slow. But for some absurd reason, I wanted to say, excuse me, that was gross. BMG is trying to give him more usage? I don't know why, and they gave him less recovery frames? So it's like, I think it was on the down sig for gauntlets, I believe. They gave him less recovery frames, I think. I might be mistaken. It might be another sig. But, man, this is not okay. It's just not okay, I believe. It's just not okay. Because you can't give low dexterity legends. I don't know. They're overriding what's wrong with inherently wrong with low dexterity legends, and they need to have a weakness. But luckily, Zarya's still not a great legend, so it's not too catastrophic. Unless you go against a good gauntlets user, then Zarya still is a threat. So okay, so let's try to do the rundown and see if I need to change anything. I agree with this. These legends are extremely good. Yeah, okay, we're good. This is a little. This is like an eyesore because all the blasters were in a weird flux of blasters. So let's move some blaster legends around a bit. I stick by Cassidy. I stick by Nyx. Scythe. Have to stick by Nyx. Cassidy. Because Scythe is there. I don't think blasters are very good right now, but Cassidy, I respect her signatures. Axe was buffed. Diana. Wait, do I really have Ada as the second? Wow. Oh, third. Things have changed. Times are changing, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone. It's really hard. Like the blaster legends are really. It's hard. It's really hard to put the blaster legends somewhere because, like, I see the merit in each one. Now I've used all of them to a pretty good extent, but it's not. They're not really viable to like. I don't think any of them are really maining for blasters viable, but Barazza above Cassidy and Nyx. Oof, we can't have I don't know what the axe down. I mean the axe buff is really something, but we'll put Barazza down a bit lower because of his signatures aren't great. But axe kills on its own. That's the problem. Like his axe signatures aren't great, but the axe on its own kills. So his axe signatures do not need to be great. But his blaster signatures aren't great. Barazza's tough. Barazza's really tough. Oh, we'll put him there, but Barazza might. But then neutral downlight to, near to, Enlight to Nair is a true combo for blasters, but people don't know that. So, or people can't consistently do that unless you're on the pro level. We're gonna have to keep him there just because of lack of reliable blasters kill option. There should not be any blasters left. Oh, Lucien. Okay, that's fine. I really just don't want to put any blasters legend up there, but I guess Lucien gets a pass. I need to think about this actually. Qatar buff. There's a Qatar buff. Would that really do it for Lucien? Yeah, I'd say it does. I don't know if I feel about Lucien. Okay, I think I stand by this list. There's no F tier legend right now. I kind of want to do this though. But alas, we are not because of the Qatar buff. Yeah, I stick by this. Yeah. This is pretty tough to make. I'm having a trouble placing these blaster boys, but because of the Qatar buff. But I think we're good with this list. The biggest changes, of course, Petra's new. Lin Fei is not an F tier anymore. Ember is up here. Asuri's really top tier again. Valiant is not top tier. Zol is up here with Diana and Hattori. Ada is down significantly. And yeah. Well, this is the list. We're going to save this bad boy. I think this is a good list. Yeah. We made a tier list. This took way too long. I don't think I've ever taken this long for it. Whoa, wait, what? I don't know. Scythe is Scythe. Now we're going to put Dusk above. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Oh, God. I think we're good now. No, but I think this is tough. Like, this part is, the tail end of B is the only thing I'm a little shaky on, but I feel I feel pretty comfortable with this list. So if anyone has any questions or they want us, then I will let me know in the comments. If you want to taste some hate, let me know in the comments to hate on this because I don't care. So it'll just be funny for me for you to hate on this. And thank you so much for watching. And Community Colors next gameplay video. And I need water. It's like 80 degrees, and I have not drank water for like an hour and 35 minutes, or oh my god. So sorry for losing my voice a bit in the end of this, but I feel like I've said my spiel on each legend. So yeah, the biggest changes that I want to see, like the biggest things, I already highlighted the biggest thing going on, but going forward, I would like to see Mordex and Thor not be OP, guitars to be restored to a normal state, Axe to not be buffed, to have the buffs removed and not be buffed anymore, Lance Nair to get a reduction in damage, threw that out there, huh? And Scythe to get a nerf, I don't know, somehow stop Scythe Mania, and somehow stop Cannon Mania. And yeah, this is the list. I hope everyone enjoyed, and yeah, bye. I said bye. There we go.